Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Lance going to put it up right away. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose. Points 1, 2, and 3.
Wow, what a great fucking start this is.
The quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they
fun drive.
To let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove, because any guy who's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right
into a double team, and it's intercepted. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Play action, now it's Lance. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Lance. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here. How about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll take over after that pretty clutch forced fumble as they begin inside their own 5-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Fields. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Niners use the early turnover to get on the board first here this one. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Drops this off with Nwangu. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Fielded just inside the 20. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A handoff from Mitchell running left to the 43, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Right back to Mitchell here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. So on 4th down, here's the Australian native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
Wow, what a fucking joke.
Touchdown, Chicago. He goes 86 yards there on the touchdown run. And the Bears are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Santos with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted.
Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Fields on first down.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A nice gain of 21 yards.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second.
He'll try again.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Kene Nwangu.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Bears have taken the lead.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to.
This is fucking cheap as fuck. Cool, no matter what I do, I'm screwed. So much fun.
Especially the quarterback.
Now on 2nd and 13.
Lance. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, and it winds up falling incomplete.
And nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the gun on third down, Fields. That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu.
And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be fourth down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Now here's Trenton Gill now.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
To throw again on second down.
Lance. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Brandon Smith picks it off.
And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Lance.
You have to be fucking kidding me. What in the fuck is this bullshit?
The Bears are going to take over at their own 41.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Have a great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal. They'll certainly have the green line here.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them. Understood.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. How about that? They weathered the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, Nwangu. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Santos' kick is up and through, and now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll have time for 1 play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And some room to run now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend.
Oh, fun halftime. Wish the game was fucking over, because this is horrible.
At our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fields in right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
On 2nd down and 4. Fields. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On the give is Nwangu.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Fields now to throw.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Bears.
Albert O, 45 yards. And the Bears are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson.
So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Handoff right side to Wangu.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that one. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
120 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained run.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
Kene Nwangu
With now 3 week 1 touchdowns.
And the Bears take a 3-touchdown lead.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Lance now on first down.
To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Bears are going to take over at their own 41. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Touchdown, Chicago!
Justin Fields,
62 yards.
and the Bears get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Now, after the touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
To throw, it's Lance.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 37 yards. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
The Lance going to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Lance. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Now Fields. Hard throw, incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. And now here's another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Fields. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part 2 of the screen, he forgot part 1, couldn't get the ball. Handoff here to Nwangu. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Drive starts with a give to Mitchell.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards there and a Niner 1st.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The end result, 21 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Lance now to throw. Looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And the Niners are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Once more with Mitchell.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Throwing now is Lance.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.